Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Ah, spoiler alert.
Hey there, Artie!
And guess.
April 18th, 10:43 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at Kyubi Manor.
Heck yeah.
I believe we can proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is.
What the heck does that say? I'm sorry, Nurion?
Nurari Hyun.
Nurion, leader of 100 demons. He really does exist.
You can see her reflection in the plate.
Yep. Wow, that is one well-polished tray.
The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. What is it, my child?
Begone, Nurion, leader of 100 demons.
Oh ho ho! You think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will.
My charm has no effect.
I didn't realize that she even has animations on that too, like her mouth was moving and she was, oh my god, that's so well done.
That is really cool. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one.
Now, you little scamp.
Yes.
I trust you know why you're here.
Bags.
Bags? Oh, that tricksy tanuki. Try the noodle stand, and go enjoy a big bowl of tanuki tail noodles while you're at it.
What the heck?
He went to Eldune's noodles too.
Dang.
Everyone's a comedian.
No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azukirai away. I can't even talk.
Azukiare. That yokai that washes Azuki beans. The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off.
Azuki Kirai also often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore.
Is that so? Well, thank you. I was constantly hearing people washing beans in the clean.
Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell got more than he bargained for.
They're bad enough alone, but together these two are just plain creepy. Your testimony, if you please, Miss Tenma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenma Taro when you discovered the crime scene. Witness testimony. I like her skirt.
I do like her skirt.
Very chic. What Jinxie saw.
Did I see Temataro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw, yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in the room. Great testimony.
There was a yokai at the crime scene.
Uh-huh, lots of them.
Wait, more than one yokai? Did Temataro happen to be among them?
I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Nurikiabi, Setai Tashio. They were all in there.
Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them. This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony.
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course.
What a fabulous idea! Please proceed, Miss Sykes. Therapy during court is very normal. You sure you know what you're doing, Athena?
She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
I hate therapy.
Therapy isn't real.
Therapy. He's like, depression, you're faking it.
Depression, just suck it up.
I've been in jail.
This is not our actual feelings.
No,
this is
this
just
is
us having
Blackwell's.
fun. Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed? No. It makes no difference to me. It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land.
Okay. I'll show you.
Oh yeah, this is where we get another gimmick for Mood Matrix.
Did I see Temataro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw... Now I remember. Yokai right there in that room. Found something. Looks like an out-of-control emotion.
Athena, what exactly are we looking at here?
Oh, this? It's one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice.
Whoa! You mean that little thing can do all of this?
Pretty cool, huh?
And here I thought it was just some kid's toy.
Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? More like panic. She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she's experienced has made a confused mess.
So, all of these yokai she thinks she saw are just a product of rampant emotions?
Yeah, that's right. Her fear has instilled her... Her feelings... Her feelings! Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear.
So she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai.
We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now let's see. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? The Wheel of Fire?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
At the top.
I'm a cat. She seems particularly terrified of that one.
How do you know that?
Because there's fire. Fire invokes fear,
True.
Artie. Start by tapping probe. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Next, stop spitting all over the computer.
It's okay, I was spinning constantly at voicing Blackwell.
Finally, tap probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter.
Okay, let's give this a try. I
Point
bet you
to
it's
the cat.
Fire Cat. Cat monster on a wheel of fire.
Fire.
This is definitely what's causing you anguish.
Got it.
Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on a wheel of fire?
That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the aldermans.
It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation.
Exactly. It's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. I can hear you, you know. like
We're saying this out loud.
yeah, we're saying this out loud. Jinxie's just like, they think I'm crazy. I guess I might be crazy. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on the Wheel of Fire.
No, I was about to be. Is Kasha a brand of cereal? No, that's Kashi. It's close enough.
Kasha cereal.
Demon cat on wheel of fire cereal. I
would buy that cereal.
If it tasted good without milk, I can't have milk and
Yeah,
cereal.
same.
I think I know the answer now.
I just can't have milk.
Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Kasha? It's the chandelier.
It's the chandelier with the box thing. The light fixture?
This one right here. It has a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on a wheel of fire. The Kasha you saw was just a light fixture.
Info updated.
Okay, but there were still teapot monsters and a weird, like, obese raccoon dancing around. He was kind of weird.
That might be a good thing to remember. Obese raccoon.
Obese
Tanuki.
raccoon?
Could be
Oh.
fat boy in there, just beating him senseless.
He was stabbed, not beaten.
With the sword.
That's one memory back to normal. Nice job.
This is just all in Apollo's mind. I bet the guy was stabbed.
Dude, I need steak.
I need steak. Now that you've got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest.
Jinxie, what about this white wall-egg monster?
That's a piece of bread. That's Nurikabe.
Nurikabe.
Yeah. That's Nurikabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way and leads you astray. Her voice is so weird, but I do love it.
I feel like half of the time her voice is good, and half the time it's like weird when she's like, and then I was really frightened.
It's supposed to be like she's a psychopath.
Oh, she's not a psychopath.
Oh.
That's no yokai. Well, maybe she is, but I'm not telling you. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a fooling screen. And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be.
Ah!
And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh no, her plate.
She won't hide behind it. Oh, never mind.
Nope, she fixed it. Noise level down to 50%.
You did it, Apollo! Her extreme fear is under control now! It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai after all. See, a clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. He's like, my intuition. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber.
Right, there never really were any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. Wait. Jinxie, what about Tenmataro?
There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenmataro, or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now.
You
Gotta
be joking!
That was funny.
Blackwell's like, why did we deceive? Therapy is useless. Order in the court. I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. No!
Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion.
Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Stop looking at me!
Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update.
Jinxie's suddenly happy that they're
There's yokai.
stabbed.
Oh, it's surprised. Did I see Tenmataro in the
Well,
Fox Chamber?
she was surprised before, we just couldn't see it because her sadness was so overwhelming. Her sadness/fear.
What's the unexpected emotion? Yeah. I was so scared when I entered the room. I gave out. My legs gave out and I fell on the floor. That's a new dialogue.
Yep.
There in the Fox Chamber I saw the Alderman dead on a table and Papa collapsed in a chair.
Happy.
Nobody else was in there, and that includes Tenmataro. There isn't any unexpected emotion.
Wait, what am I supposed to do?
Try to find the emotions that contradict her statements.
So, if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out?
That's right. But it's not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in an emotion's intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement, which we did see. It's important to compare how the same emotion changes throughout the testimony.
Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Let's go!
Okay, so she's super scared and kind of surprised right now. Then
I
she's
was
super
so
scared and
scared when
very
it-
surprised.
That just suddenly...
That jumped up.
But that makes sense, because she said surprise.
And then her legs gave out and she fell to the floor, but she wasn't scared of that. But
That's
she was very
weird.
surprised. And
Then
then there
all
in the
of a
fox
sudden-
chamber you saw...
Shiver.
And then they both go up really high again, and yeah.
Papa
Okay, so it's
collapsed in a
probably
chair.
her not being all that scared back when her legs collapsed.
Yeah. Try that. Oh, there you go.
The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear?
Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment.
You did? Where did it come from?
Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now let's see.
It's like the emotion changes. It's like Mom was me. It's like she just appears on the moon.
Oh my
matrix.
gosh. Ah, look.
Yeah, double fist bump.
Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. That's it?
Noise
Wait,
level
really?
down to 0%. That's it for Moon Matrix. Bye-bye.
Nice.
A sudden burst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage?
Yeah, there was, but, I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later.
Did you get a sudden burst of courage? Yeah, there was a balloon, and I went to it, and then Christopher Robin told me to believe in myself.
Christopher Robin, yes.
Thanks, Christopher Robin.
Robin, I feel a lot better. You don't want to go to that balloon, then you won't walk as fast.
Yeah, you want Piglet to be at the brink of insanity for the entire game, so he
Yeah.
runs faster.
The game has an insanity meter. Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage?
Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? So she said it
With-
reminded her of her mom.
Of her mom. We haven't heard about her mom.
Her
yet.
mom was Temataro. We didn't want to say no.
That's funny. No, flower found
Yeah.
only.
It was
Oh,
her mother's
yeah.
favorite.
It was her
Mother's favorite Ninetales flower. Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a Ninetales flower there at the scene, did you?
The demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a Ninetales veil on it. I liked it so much I kept it.
I had to have it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene! That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce that evidence this instant. Do I have to?
Sorry.
It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look at your baldness?
It's the key to my cell. He just leaves.
Ah! This is none other than the master key to Kyubi Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwill? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the box chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key
It was in the box chamber.
was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is? Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. And there was no one else in there save for the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. No!
Maybe it just is him. You know?
We've only had one case where the guy actually did it.
Yeah, it was Simon Keys.
No.
How
Oh,
could this happen?
I was talking Matt Ongard.
Oh, him too.
Also, yeah, Simon Key. Well, he wasn't technically guilty in the prison case. Technically, it was the warden who did that.
Yeah.
But he manipulated it to happen.
Yeah. Ugh!
The defense's assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations. Athena, are you alright?
Ugh! I know Mayor Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do! This sucks.
Sykes, Dodo. Allow me to put you out of your misery.
Can I decline your offer?
Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us! Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks.
Ugh. Now I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight.
Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Oh great, the lawnmower's just got a
Alright, I'll be back in 10!
Stay with me, Athena! That's annoying how it sometimes advances the text about us.
It's fine. She had to get away on her lawnmower.
Yeah. Oh, they're starting to mow the lawn right outside.
That's fine.
Let's stay with it. Sorry,
just-
folks. Stay with me, Athena! Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai!
It's just Francisco coming into the court
Oh, yeah.
with her lawnmower.
Apollo!
She had a tractor, not a lawnmower. Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you object to? Huh? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. Though I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena. The court is waiting, Mr. Justice, though it is as it stands now. I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Wow, that's
Why
rude.
are her legal skills suspect?
Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case?
I bet you do.
Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine!
Apollo, you do have something more than your cords of steel, do you?
Not really, but we'll be fine!
But
I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before! I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room.
Venting.
Because it's all over if I don't.
Venting.
He vented.
Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box.
Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy that locked room is, too. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument? You bet I do! The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Time to do or die, literally!
Cool.
The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room.
You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened?
I'm fine! We just need to think this whole escaping and locked room thing over from the beginning.
Okay.
So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so?
The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vent,
It's really high up.
it's up too high, and there's nothing you could do to stand on in it to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out.
Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yep.
Hey, thanks, Godot. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the killer escaped through here.
Just...
Let's save before...
So the key was in there. So if they found said key, they
Right.
could theoretically escape, but I don't think they did. Because both of them were knocked out or unconscious or whatever.
Well, no, we're assuming that there's a third person here. The real killer. And
The
they were saying how...
Temitaro. Well, she ran into the Temitaro in the hallway, right?
Yeah.
Didn't
So
he
did
come
he go
from
through
the
the main
Fox
door?
chamber?
He came from that direction, yeah.
Yeah, he went through the main door. I think he did.
The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenma came on scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and then lock it without a key? I should have seen this coming.
Remember, Apollo, keep it simple.
Wait, are we not getting penalized? Simple, right. I could understand if the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting for you unless you explain yourself quickly.
Yeah, we're not getting penalized.
I'm fine! I can explain myself! The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because Tenma locked it from the inside, it locked on its own, the perp locked it from outside.
The perp?
Perpetrator.
Well, you can't lock it from outside because the key needs to be inside. I feel like this building's too old to have locks that would lock on its own.
So you're thinking the first option?
Yeah. Well, wait, but if it locked from... Shoot, that might have been stupid.
Oh, I thought I was saying Tenma Taro, not Mayor Tenma.
I thought it was Temataro too.
Mayor Tenma locked it himself after the killer fled the scene. Just in case the killer decided to return. That would explain why the room was locked. Yes, I see. Then again, wouldn't Mayor Tenma have mentioned that himself? Oh, maybe it slipped his mind because of that blow to his head? Ah!
Okay, never mind.
I have already considered and investigated such possibilities. You have?
Maybe you just
The
locked
mayor's
on its own.
fingerprints were not found on the door or its doorknob. The only fingerprints found belonged to the alderman. Ergo, the mayor did not so much as touch the door. Oops. Okay, then how about... Perp locked it from outside.
Really?
What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door and then locked it. Ouch! Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of fact.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to pick that one. Why'd you pick it? Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. But the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction.
If only we could explain both! Like, how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from outside. Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? It slipped it in when the door was open, threw it in from outside,
What?
changed the lock.
Wait, that is the correct thing to do?
Yeah, that was the correct thing to do.
What? Okay. He doesn't have time to change the lock. There's no way.
No. You can't slip it through the door when it's open because literally the door has to be locked.
So I guess he threw it in.
He,
from
he went to the cliff, lobbed it in for the window. He's a really good aim.
outside. Is that it? I guess.
What if someone threw it into the room from outside? You know, something like, go out in the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in for the window. That would explain how the master key could be used to lock inside the room and be inside. And where would you throw it from? There is a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility.
No.
Oh! My Doc!
Then why didn't that penalize us? I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. The vent!
Somewhere other than the window?
The vent!
This guy's getting pretty sus.
How do you lob it in through the vent, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The air vent? Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not.
Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. You have to have a good aim and good speed to be like, what?
That's right, the real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside of the Fox Chamber. Then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. Ah! That's preposterous!
Ooh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly.
Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. Don't worry. I'll explain it so even Your Honor can understand. What do you mean by even, Your Honor? First, the real killer, disguised as Tenma Taro, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber.
I think a garage door might open in a second.
Then they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All of that was left to do after that was to go back through the air duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing! Even I could follow that!
The judge seems really pleased.
That explains everything! The real killer was someone dressed up like Tenmataro. And there was someone other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Hey! It looks like that lawyer is beating the jailbird prosecutor! Whoa, that was a total turnabout!
That massive forehead of his seems so much more attractive now!
Order, order! Order, I say! Now that I've laid out a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence.
I'm right, you're wrong.
A valiant effort, Justice Dono, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened! The killer fled from the Youch! But that is impossible without being spotted by the foyer's security camera, that is.
Oh, there's a secure. Oh. You just ducked under.
The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there is no sign of Tenmataro anywhere in the security footage.
What if?
What?
What if? Filch.
Filch?
He's like, gotta watch my programming, but I have to go use the bathroom. I'll just turn the security camera so I can see the TV. And go back.
Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good.
Wait! I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance.
He sabotaged comms so nobody could use the cameras.
There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera.
Hey, you're right!
Silence.
Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliffside of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one.
No!
None!
No!
Wait, so the killer didn't escape out for the foyer window?
What the heck, right?
Ha! I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai.
If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer.
Who's saying we don't?
We do!
As completely far-fetched as it might be.
What? You're saying you can prove the killer can fly?
Whoa! I thought I was the one with the cords of steel! Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor,
I know what we're
what
gonna
evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
I'm gonna
Well,
put that newspaper
it was
up
in the
there.
newspaper. The newspaper would never ever lie. Definitely not. Take a look at the special edition paper. Tenmataro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they fled out of the window? But Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting for like the 4th time in the series. Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer, disguised as Tenmataro, flew away. You know, by some way or another.
Silence.
He just starts laughing.
It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but trick photography or some other form of artifice. There is a thing called Photoshop.
No, we saw it, right?
No, we didn't.
Somebody saw it.
Okay then, how about the Tenmataro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air? No, there is a rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai our tricksy Tanuki witnessed never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Mian Tenma or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at that time. Oop! Not good! Not good at all! Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of Tenmataro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. Ah! No! Order! Order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever! The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out of the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap?
What do we do now, Apollo?
Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff, seize her. It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of Yorewood.
Who's holding? Uh-oh.
Mayor Tenma? This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Tenma Taro's true identity is... Now, Mr. Mayor. It would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible.
He's just like, it's the other one.
Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce.
What the heck?
Confess? The defendant intends to confess? Wait!
Apollo! Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again!
Mayor Tenma! No! Don't fall for his twisted words! If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone! The real killer is...
Mayor Tenma's going to confess unless we do something!
But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away! Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time for my return!
Now I'm just confused.
Uh-oh, I should watch what I wish for.
Is it just him? What the what? What? What?
Foolish mortals! I am Tenma, the yokai you seek! Mayor Tenma? Silence! I am Tenma, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King!
Now I'm just confused.
What the?
Demon King?
Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation!
I'm sorry.
And this is where the case gets completely insane.
What?
The witness will, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma, the one whom you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma, you say? Ha! What nonsense! So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now? Ka! His body is mine now! So you're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that the yokai that Jinxie, Tenma, and Phineas Filch saw? And the one captured in the newspaper photo? Those were all you? The accursed power of these warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form.
My face exactly, Athena.
Your boldness! Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claim the yokai the little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber, but it was the accused all along. Arg! Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be the real, in a manner of speaking. For the alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
And the yokai at the scene. Have you forgotten that we saw LaBelle kill him in the opening cutscene?
Yeah, I did.
That too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say our dear Tenma Taro.
Is he just putting on the biggest act in this century?
Maybe. The pieces have all fallen into place.
I forgot Big Lips Boy. That's him.
LaBelle.
LaBelle.
How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? It seems I must spell it all out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warding charms from the forbidden chamber's door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jinxie Tenma stumbled on the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro.
Objection!
But when we arrived on scene, the mayor was found unconscious! How is it possible that he's supposed to have flown out the foyer window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of Kyuubi Manor Jinxie Tenma was Tenma Taro? Oh. Ah! That too is easily explained. Flew about for a time I did but presently tired I made for the forbidden chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the fox chamber and I knew no more. It would seem the pieces are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real live? So that rumor about Mayor Tenma is true. I knew yokai were real. You mean he really did kill the alderman just so he could release Tenma Taro? Order! Order! You're very confused right now.
I wish the audience could see my face. Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai.
It's Simon Says on steroids! I think we're close to the end. I thought we were about to finish the investigation, or the trial period. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty or Balbus. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
Mayor Tenma's just pretending to be Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I've no choice but to...
Silence!
Shut
This is the dark age of the law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning, Justice Dodo.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence!
Silence!
It's literally like against the law.
Then prove it by joining me.
What?
A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict is all but...
Now I'm confused.
What's with him? Prosecutor Blackwell, we have had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that.
What is even happening?
What in the devil was that? Fulbright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner? Ha 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 ha! It seems you found that quite shocking. Fulbright tased him.
What the heck, Fulbright?
It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this, I, Simon Blackwell! Ah! Apparently someone followed me on Twitch, and that's why we heard the Yemi go, yippee!
Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, we're not streaming. I hope you're not streaming.
Why is that getting picked up? I don't have Twitch alerts on. Oh, that's so weird. Your Honor! You need not fear now! I believe Prosecutor Black will remain on his best behavior. A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we, Detective?
Well, in that case, this concludes today's deliberations. The prosecution and the defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. The court is adjourned.
So yeah, case 2 is kind of insane, isn't it?
This is weird.
You can kind of see why I'm like, this case is not very good.
It's just
It's so absolutely
going for
insane.
weirdness.
Anyhow, that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll definitely split that into 2 videos. Next time, I guess we're going back to investigation parts.
That's fine.
Those are your favorite parts, aren't they?
I do like investigating.
All right.
Because I get to talk more.
Hopefully we can figure more out about Tenmataro being real, apparently, and possessed. I don't know. Anyhow, until we meet again, everybody, have a great day and God bless.